Doom 2016 is easily one of the best games of the last decade. With its sequel arriving shortly, and a trailer that shook half the population's panties and turned them into a different type of Splash Mountain, I thought it would be appropriate to make a video in Doom Eternal's anticipation. Can you beat Doom 2016 without guns? This question is a tedious one to be asked. Surely, a game built around the mere mechanic of shooting can't be beaten the way God intended all video games to be beaten, by fisting. But you can bet that sweet Bible of yours that we will try. First, let's delve into the rules. Rule 1. As the title stated, enemies cannot take damage from a single gun this run, or I am disqualified. My chainsaw, grenades, and the wholesome act of getting tenderized by my meat cleavers are allowed. Rule 2. All armor, health, and Praetor suit upgrades will be allowed this run. Also, an added bonus rule, Doom's hemorrhoid-rocking soundtrack needs to be the background music for this video, or I instantly lose. And lastly, Rule 3. I don't know if anyone told you this today, but hot damn, you are looking absolutely stunning. You also smell really freaking good. But ready the fuck up, boys. Hop into the battle bus, grab your Kool-Aid bursts and cheese sticks. Unless you're the type of person that eats them whole without peeling them, then you can leave. And join me as we spread open hell's cheeks and go to town on the very demon spawn that threaten our human existence. Can we defeat the hell guards without committing seppuku? Can my feeble grenades take on the Cyberdemon before he gives me an enema shower? Let's find out. Immediately, we are awoken, strung naked in a sarcophagus by the very vermin who put me here for sexual experimentation and probably that anal probe thing that everyone has given great reviews on Yelp to. Right off the bat, Doom Guy knows nothing other than what he was placed on this very earth to do, the division of demonic cheeks. Punching my way through the demonic imps that unfortunately decided to play Chadley Patty Cake with me, I was met by a hologram of this story's antagonist, Olivia, spectating demons basically using me and my sarcophagus as some sort of shrine like Helga did for Arnold in Hey Arnold. My Praetor suit was awaiting me in the next room, literally built to withhold every ounce of testosterone that is the Doom Guy. Smelted and casted in the deep forgery and fires of Mount Clapass, Doom Guy, aka Lutopia 615, a channel member of mine that is not only luxuriant but also quite fertile, was reinstated back into office. A typhoon of euphoria washed over me while I did my first glory kill. I forgot how good this felt, and oh boy was I hyped. Just like unloading a fart that could be mistaken as biological warfare next to someone you don't necessarily like, these glory kills never get old. My presence in this first room of demons was far from rated PG. Them being only imps and basically just a demonic version of minions from the Disney movie, at least I think it was a Disney movie, I haven't really kept up with the lore. I unleashed a flurry of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw moves and just all around destruction, even ripping the scrotum off of the demonic portal that was conjuring these very vermin. The fight needed to be brought up to the Martian surface, and that is exactly where I was going. Those demons wanted the D, and you know it's always sunny, baby. Instantaneously, I started taking these bad boys to Suplex City. Things were going fine and dandy, but I was introduced to a new boy toy that wanted to take my ass to high school prom. The Possessed Soldier is a beefier version of an imp. Instead of taking 2 hits to kill, this fucker enjoys sodomy and the feeling of Pound Town. A whopping 6 punches to take this guy down. On paper, that doesn't seem bad, but when you have WoW classic looking head-ass mages hitting you with cross-map fireballs, it could very well be a problem. To continue onwards, a blue card was needed, which we will kindly borrow from a nearby deceased man that just so happens to not have a say in whether or not I could use his belongings. I mean, they're dead, and the finders keepers mentality gets a buff when relating to dead people. I was given an important tool on the other side of this locked door. These bad boys will be the development in the Senza manga and cinematic universe arc that we all needed. These grenades will bring doom, and absolutely pillage anything that comes in my way, with or without their consent. Of course I will ask first, but 90% of the time that doesn't seem to work or matter anyway, so. The glorious part about my most important tool this run is that they have infinite uses. As long as I wait out its cooldowns, I could keep throwing these grenades. From here, every enemy was basically a contestant in my Super Smash Bros. Arena. Putting the fear of Jesus and testosterone in every single one of these demons. A mixture of frag grenades in my fist made for a perfect cocktail of demonic molestation. With this level down, here's a cool transition I downloaded online, and let's discuss the plan, gentle boys and girls. Operation My Mother Found My Homework folder full of Senza hentai is now in full effect. Our trip into this family-friendly hell is not going to be an easy one. Sure, the gameplay you are witnessing may look simple, but dear lord, you do not know what awaits us in the depths of hell. This ain't no Weenie Hut Jr. Wii Sport baseball type shit. The enemies will get stronger and come at you with the force of 1,000 K-pop stands, so we need to be ready. If I've done my math correctly, Doom Guy's bigger muscles than just all-around chadliness equates to far more testosterone than needed to complete this run. Grenades will be our go-to this challenge, but their cooldowns will be my bane. Later on, my melee attacks will become archaic, only being used for glory kills, so making sure all of my grenades land is important. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even sure if I have enough power myself to complete this challenge. Are you unsure of your capabilities to do dumb challenges that nobody cares about? Have your nights been long due to nightmares of failing challenges? Do you still use your mustard pocket efficiently? If you said yes to at least one of those, I have the perfect product for you. Doused in the holiest of waters, and probably a priest nut, I don't know. This hot dog crucifix is for you. Attach it somewhere near your computer and any and all problems will go away. Being free from my prison, it was time to discover the cause of this demonic invasion. The enemies being nothing but imps at the beginning of this level was a blessing. My glory kills and these imps were perfect for each other, just like sweating between your butt cheeks after a nice workout. Olivia hit me with some mumbo jumbo shit, and then I decided to hit the rest of the demons that were in my way with my uncalled for irrelevant Bible quotes and Christian rock music. They didn't even stand a chance. The first couple levels of Doom 2016 are the easiest ones. My health never even dropped below 80 points, mostly due to the enemies and their HP pools being quite low. Just like all the passengers on the Titanic that were nominated and failed the ice bucket challenge, these poor demons failed the challenge of simply staying alive. My travels led me to the chainsaw, which is actually going to be quite useful this run. The chainsaw basically allows for one insta-kill. Any creature that meets its blades is being sent back to customer support on Christian Mingle. Ammo for it is scarce, just like my friends, so I shall use this thing wisely. With satellites in position, I scaled those bad boys and began turbo hugging the demons that lay dormant in the rooms ahead of me. I hugged them so hard that their deceased family members and whole lineage line could probably feel it in their graves. I also decided that for the time being, since the level was almost over, the shield demon would become lawfully wedded to my chainsaw. With the satellite back online, the full scale and origin of the attack was revealed. Olivia's dumbass needs to be vote-kicked because her conjuring being at level 100 put the facility we were on into a full meltdown. A couple of demonic scrotums needed to be removed before getting to the reactor, and this being 2020, I know that demonic scrotum removal by hand is what you all want. I was given first glimpse of a weightlifter suffering roid rage by the misuse of steroids. This very hologram sealed my fate, and not even someone that is as force sensitive as I am is mentally and physically prepared for this thick boy. A nice Praetor token and the gift of Gerald's left hand was given to me as a welcoming gift for getting this far into the run. As a famous man once said, "Why open your legs when you can open a Bible?" I'll tell you why I open my legs. I do so to dig these demons down with the whole 1.72 inches of my wiener, which is actually a pre-order bonus exclusive to these demons. It was time to put my 14 years of intensive training to the test. Although the Roid Rage demon did seem quite intimidating, a nice grenade thrown at its feet with a flurry of pistol whips and that abomination was as good as dead. Just as Jesus, I was getting nailed, but at least I had more health than he did, so I didn't die. Immediately after cleaning my undies, I was met with another two Roid demons. The first one involved a little bit of foreplay. A few punches and then going to give the imp surrounding him a good old serving of death seemed to be the way to go. Glory kills gave health, and this tactic would come in handy for later, more challenging enemies. The second one I decided deserved to stand a trial before the high priest that is my chainsaw. I may as well call myself NyQuil because I was putting these demons to sleep. After going to town on a COD Zombies wave of demons, I ripped the sack off of a demon portal and enjoyed a nice bath in molten lava while retrieving a set of armor that had my name on it. What made it worse was my frustration when I attempted to grab it again and did the same goddamn thing. Alright, gotcha. You're mine, baby. No! After the last sack, I was met with an arena of enemies and more Roid boys. This area brought me a few deaths and had me clenching my ass tighter than the blasteel doors in the Pentagon. Being permatilted by the fact that I was missing every grenade didn't help either. With the mission now complete, double damage and grenades were on the forecast because with another Praetor upgrade, I can now charge and hold 2 grenades. 2 charges was going to be big this run, and beyond useful. Olivia did some Naruto Hidden Lotus stuff with her hands, and I'm pretty sure we are now all fucked. Our goal is to stop this cunt. It was heartwarming seeing that even the demons passed their time by playing Hangman. The objective on this 4th level was relatively the same as the ones that I have done before. My fist unfortunately had a side effect of anal discomfort, and these demons had to deal with this firsthand. Okay, I need to stop with these puns. These Hellspawn came at me with full force and straight up swinging. Right off the bat, Roid Rage demons were pulling up and ready to dance. A small tactic to make this run easy was immediately developed after a few fights with them. A good old game of Ring Around the Rosie and dodging their attacks was all that was needed to get yourself that golden star from your first grade teacher and an ego to rival the mountains. Samuel told me to disable each tower, which I assume turned Doom Guy's panties into the Sahara Desert. I came to that assumption when he did a big smash. The results of the autopsy actually came in for all these demons. It seems as though their causes of death were due to them being big dumb idiot stupids and actually defying the Doomslayer. This level also gave me my first interaction with the Summoner, a demon that teleports constantly, thus not giving me a moment to actually beat her face in. Somehow I forgot to mention power-ups, and I'm too lazy to go back in the script to tell you guys about it, but basically there's one of them that allows me to cosplay as Brick and literally tear limb from limb. Going Super Saiyan 4 God Super Saiyan was actually quite enjoyable and helped ease the pain during these hordes of enemies. My efforts, though successful, were quite futile in the scheme of things. I delayed Olivia from creating a bigger portal to hell, but she wasn't going to stop until she got what she wanted. The next level was kind enough to bring me the rocket launcher cunts. My tactic for these guys involved a bit of brain power, so make sure to write this down. Spam melee. Literally just spamming the melee key till you get your glory kill was basically your only option. I could have lied to you guys and proclaimed that my gaming prowess was that of the ancient Mandarin's secret weapon, Shroud, but no, I just sat there and meleeed until they were all dead. As a reward for absolutely nothing, I was given a brand new pair of Nike Airs so I could stylishly double jump on these demonic turds while I beat their faces in. Doom Guy, member of House Demonic Cheek Division, stay-at-home dad, and literally a god. The king of kings that brandished fists made of iron and wore a necklace composed of 16 fingers plucked from the most hellish of demons. But not even that could help your washed-up gamer Snaxa. Legends say that there is an orb that transforms your grenades into Fallout mini-nukes, and boys, from all the absolute annihilation and busting it down for Jesus, aka J-Man, I've done over the years, I can say that this is absolutely true. A few witches came to greet me and I greeted them with my grenades. My well thought out decision making is what makes me an anomaly to the gaming world and universe as we know it. Forget about the whole platforming thing. That was my dog playing. Remorse is something that rarely ever strikes me after my actions, but it finally did. This poor little imp didn't get what he deserved. He met me with nothing but peace, but I turned him into a Boeing 737 passenger airplane. Not even 20 minutes after finding my first new enemy, I was met with my next.
There he was, a typical McDonald's customer, out of his natural habitat. During cold Martian nights, these demonic beings like to lurk the levels of Doom 2016, waiting to be fisted by a man in shining armor. However, this demon is tankier and far more cautious than his colleagues. Moving at a slower pace is what he is accustomed to, which makes him an overlying threat against a washed up Doomslayer that misses every grenade.
My grenades just weren't landing. I was missing every single one and was triggered beyond belief. So I developed a technique that could be useful to anyone with aim like me, which by the way is equivalent to peeing with a boner when you have just woken up and your eyes are all crusted. Your grenades deal 3 damage to yourself no matter the distance to the actual explosion. So you can literally walk into a group of enemies, grenade spam the floor, and make it out with minimal damage. Killing Olivia wasn't an option anymore because she took the thing that she had in her hands and ripped open an actual portal to hell. This was both a blessing because I was getting absolutely destroyed by the hordes of demons, but also a curse because I left my crucifix butt plug at home. Hell was looking pleasant today, and I couldn't wait to see the activities the community and church group here have put together for me. A bit of platforming into the level, and I was greeted by a nice welcoming party. I have always wanted to see what it was like destroying demons on their own turf in hell, but unfortunately I couldn't because I close my eyes when I masturbate. The enemies here were quite overwhelming, and the run was getting a lot harder. Kiting my enemies with my grenades was my only option for making it out of this one alive. And then my universe came to an abrupt end when I remembered that caca demons were in this game. Without a doubt, my chainsaw had its name written on these floating testes because these things were the actual definition of anal prolapse. After a bit of platforming through hell, you know, the usual, and then I was hit with another new enemy, the Barons of Hell. This new enemy group was typical. I'm not really sure what I expected, maybe for them to heal me whenever they attacked. I mean, you know, a guy could wish. Anyway, listen, these boys basically chained me up BDSM style and tortured me the same way I know we all did our action figures when we were younger. Fortunately, a quadruple boost of damage was waiting there as my senzu bean. This was my light at the end of the tunnel. A mere 2 grenades and these guys had a one-stop ticket to whatever comes after hell. Watching a turf war between the Bloods and Crips was pretty cool, and being the last remaining sentinel for the human race, being humanity's last Chad, I destroyed the final group of barons that this level had to offer without any damage boost whatsoever, and made my way back home. Mars was in shambles. I knew this to be a fact because there were Mrs. Puff Oompa Loompa body-ass creatures here too, ready to give me that spanking. The game's difficulty was quickly picking up its pace. My first fight on Mars and I was getting absolutely bodied. It was a constant fight for survival, seeing as the game expected me to have such a big arsenal this far into the run. My grenades were my only friend. Being consistent with these bad boys led me to blowing them harder than all the scenes in Backdoor Sluts 9 put together. This level was all in all a difficult one, especially with the new addition of the Rampager type enemies that charge at you insisting that they want a hug. The constant charging was a pain, especially when you're being spit roasted by other enemies as well. A bit of just Doom Guy things later, I hunted down a Rampager that stole my keycard, chainsawed what is the Teemo of the Doom universe, and finished this level up. After dealing with hell on the last mission, surely tomorrow would be brighter. I was greeted with a surprise demon ass pounding party. I have gone through my fair share of these in the past, so getting through this category 6 hurricane of feces was something that I could manage. After dropping my poopy diaper on their foreheads, Olivia's artifact was needed from her quarters, and that was our next destination. My $20 microtransaction of extra damage came in handy for this next part of the run, because I was actually demolishing everything that was in my path. These demons were basically tooth floss, a simple Listerine extra teeth whitening swish, and they were deleted from the game's files. There she was, the most beautiful woman in this entire universe. I failed a retinal scan getting into the room, but that's okay, because a corpse that was conveniently placed here let me borrow his upper torso to get me into that room. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear was now in my hands, and it had absolutely no use whatsoever this run. I'll do some foreshadowing. Little did I know, I was going to regret picking up this gun, but we'll get back to that later. Another wave of enemies came to challenge my very presence in this lab, which was quite foolish of them, especially since they were all in cum shot and grenade distance. Moving was all that was needed to make it out of this one unscathed. In the Lazarus labs, I was nearly at Olivia's quarters. I channeled my inner Dora the Explorer and set out to find that Helix Stone's location. I was glitched into the floor while pounding in a few demons, but this was a common side effect of doing these types of things, or so my doctor told me. I enjoyed getting my weekly quota of dicking in a single serving by the nice demons in this lab, and the Helix Stone revealed to me that I needed the Crucible, a key to stop this demonic invasion. This key rested in the depths of hell, and the only way back was to rip another portal. The easiest way to rip that portal, you ask? Fighting my first boss. Monotony and profusely sweating was all this fight was. After dying and learning my lesson the first time, meleeing him was completely out of the question, so I was going to have to turn to plan B, which was spamming grenades and hoping to God that I didn't die. A Smurf's dick of damage was all that these things did, but it was all I had. Learning the boss's skills and how to avoid them was everything to this fight. About 30 minutes of dancing with this buffoon, and I was able to beat him my second try. With merely 3 health, your boy Sandy Peen killed the beast, and then I realized that there were actually 2 fucking phases. This fight with my grenades took an eternity. Going to college, getting a job, having kids, and then jerking off to your wife getting fucked because you're a cuck is a lot faster than trying to kill this boss with only grenades. It only took me a single try in the second phase and a couple of siphon grenades, which super sucked my enemy's health, and I succeeded. With the Cyberdemon dead, it was time for your boy's second trip to hell. This time, it wasn't for holiday, it was strictly for business. Demons challenged my expertise and they fell doing so. At this point, my fists weren't much of an option. This run may as well turn into Can You Beat Doom 2016 with only grenades. I fought my way through hell and found the Titan's Core, a portal that would get me closer to the Crucible. Little pipsqueak demons were here ripe and ready for me to destroy. These would be the ego boosts that I needed to make it through this level. After some Mario platforming type beat shit and falling to my death a few times, I now have a new phobia, and that is being locked in a narrow confined space with reskin Rampagers and Barons that were focused on giving my ass that Gears of War 2-piece combo. I thought that this was was the hardest part of the run, but nope, not even close. I now had to mingle with the next boss, the Hell Guardians. Saying that this fight was difficult was an understatement. Grenades were my only salvation this fight, and even then, I was barely dealing enough damage. The first Hellguard has a unique mechanic that he can only be damaged when he is attacking. That meant that a well-timed grenade was needed in order to even damage this thing. Eventually though, I learned its attacks, adapted, and overcame. Developing a tactic and throwing out my flurry of frag and siphon grenades, I was able to beat the first Hellguard. You know what they say though, 2 is better than 1, and I don't really have a good transition, but fuck me, this was AIDS. Double the sodomy, double the fun. I had to fight 2 Hellguardians at once. This fight, I literally died 38 times. With a gun, this would be quite easy. Shoot the WoW cleric charging up his fucking Dragon Ball Z ki blast, and you could stun him. But I only had grenades, so this was only possible with well-timed throws. Which may I add is impossible when I'm getting Zangief spinning attacked by the other Guardian in the arena. Eventually, I developed a small tactic, and that revolved around focusing the cleric. If you keep reloading your checkpoint, you'll eventually get the fight to start with him charging his ki blast. If you do, spam grenades. This initial damage will not only be good, but will drop you some health along with useless ammo. From here, run clockwise around the arena. If RNG is on your side and you use your siphon grenades correctly to save yourself from dying, you can finish off the cleric guardian, which would render the other practically a goner. I did him in like I did that kid that came over my house for my birthday and stole my rescue hero Billy Blaze's toy. I'll never forget that scum. With the crucible now in my hand, it was time to end this tyranny once and for all. I needed to shut down a security terminal and disable its systems. The enemies on this level were a joke in comparison to what I had just faced. This group of demons were the most I had ever taken on at once, but with my fists and Modern Warfare 2 noob tube grenade launcher attachment that is my arms, I was able to survive the toughest of enemies sent my way. My survival was a marvel to our very human existence. I deactivated the well and backed up Cortana on a thumb drive given to me courtesy of Randy Pitchford, thus exploding the security systems and sending me back to hell one last time. The last mission, even though I thought would be a challenge, really wasn't. Due to power-ups, especially the Borderlands brick one, I was able to take care of all these demons with ease. Not much to commentate on here. With the third well down, I destroyed the demon's access to Mars, and it was time to escape this hellish arena. Down here, I saw that Olivia was in fact still alive, though not for long, as hell has its own plans for her. Turning into yet another hentai abomination lost away in the search engines of Pornhub, she Pokemon evolved into the mastermind. Being sincere with you guys is my utmost priority. I'll be honest, this fight was incredibly easy. Just dodging her skills and using both frag and siphon grenades when you are low is all that is needed. If thrown correctly, the frag grenade can hit her brain crit spot and deal a decent bit of damage, but I was rarely ever able to pull that off, so I was stuck to doing yet again an ant's turd of damage each explosion. This boss fight is so easy that even a mobile Fortnite player can learn its moves within seconds, and with her model being so damn big, there is absolutely no way you could fuck this up. After 47 minutes of just grenade throws, the mastermind was dead, and I had done it. You can beat Doom 2016 without gun. No. What are you idiot? What are you doing? Put that. No! This is a sad day, gentlemen. In the final glory kill that is needed to end this game, you shove the BFG into the mastermind's mouth and blast a turd right down its throat, thus killing the final boss with a gun. This run resulted in 72 deaths and a run length of around 18 hours, give or take. If you like what I do here, go ahead and slap that like button, with its consent of course. And if you want more Senza, go ahead and comment more Senza, so I can heart your comment. Thank you guys so much for the support, and to my illustrious channel members for being such beautiful people. I'll see you in the next video, gentle boys and girls of mine.